chilly this morning. Doesn't look like it, but it's chilly. Anyways, I'm on site. I need to set up the laser, and then I'm gonna do a little time lapse of me digging. So I don't know how to turn this thing around. There we go. So started here. We're gonna be digging out all the way through the back there. So got some material to move, but like I said, set up the laser first and then dig. I gotta clean the windows, so I'll do that later. Don't have anything with me right now, but that's kind of where I pointed out I was digging earlier. We're digging towards us like this, and I'm just kind of sitting on the spoil pile right now and transferring it over here. I got the skid steer back there, and that's gonna need access through here, so I'm just trying to get the dirt out of the way as best I can with the skid steer right now. A little non-time-lapse video because the time-lapse is a little quick. I need to figure out how to change that and slow that down, or get some mounts and things for the GoPro that I have, because that has the ability to change the time-lapse settings in terms of how often it takes a photo. So yeah, doing the septic system here. I am gonna try to film more. I just got this stuff, like the mounts and stuff from my phone in yesterday, which is why I'm kind of starting filming in the middle of something here. But if I don't start in the middle of something, then I'm probably not gonna start at all, so it is a start. The other issue I have is I'll film something, review the footage after like the first time I've ever filmed something with zero prior experience. I mean, I have a little bit of experience, but not enough to actually consider myself a cinematographer or cameraman in any way, shape, or form. But the issue I have is I'll film something, and I'll kind of roughly stitch together a little bit of a video, and then I'll review it, and it doesn't look like the video of someone that's been doing videos for the last 10 years. It looks like the first attempt, and I don't like it. So then I don't upload it, and then I don't get the practice to get to the point of, oh, that's a good video. It looks like this guy's been doing it for 10 years. I'm stuck in this perpetual zone of, well, one day I'll film something that'll be good. So, anyways, this is the start. I have been thinking, because really, how much editing do you need to do for videos where you're digging dirt and building septic systems? And seeing that I don't really need to edit it that much, and it's not a vlog or something that needs cool drone shots or anything like that. So with that being said, I was toying with the idea in my own mind of doing a video every day during the work week anyways. Saturdays and Sundays not so much, because I don't have much going on then. It's kind of like family time. But if I can actually do that, and it wouldn't be like without fail, right? Like, there's going to be some days where maybe I'm sick, I'm not at work, or I take vacation, or there's always something. There's always a reason. But by and large, to try and kind of do the daily thing. Let's see here. Set myself up a bit better. I'm on site by myself at the moment also. I will be joined later by Marty, who is my little helper. He is just dropping off our skid steer at the moment. That thing's been giving us problems since forever. The newest iteration of issues is that the skid steer has decided to have a leak, an oil leak, in the turbocharger, which is shady. If you don't know anything about diesels, or you're not super familiar with diesels, when a diesel, which most of them are turbocharged, when a diesel's turbo starts to ingest oil, the problem with that is the oil sort of becomes a bit of a combustible material, and then you get what's called a runaway diesel, where it's sucking oil out of the oil pan and accelerating higher and higher. And you can try and turn it off, but the thing with the diesel is it runs off of compression, not like a spark plug or anything. So once the diesel is running, if you keep feeding it fuel, it will keep running. And so if it is just sucking oil through the turbocharger, then you can turn it off, but it's still going to keep sucking oil. And so you'll turn the ignition off, and the motor will still keep on revving higher and higher until it reaches terminal velocity and goes kablamo. So we don't want that to happen. So we've got the turbocharger going into or not the turbocharger, sorry. We've got the skid steer going to the shop today to go get a new turbo put on it, so we don't have to replace the whole motor at some point in the distant future, or not too distant future probably. Then he's gonna go get gravel. Gravel has to go in the field, so once we've got some gravel in the field, then we can start piping. So, not too much to it. Anyways, I'm gonna keep going here, keep rocking and rolling, moving this dirt back. I'm gonna go back to that spot that I dug up there a little further, and go check that with a laser, correct as needed, because I think I'm up a little high still. And yeah, hopefully by then we got some gravel on site and we can start ferrying it in here. I gotta clean up this gravel that's in the backyard here too. There's a little bit of it all over the lawn. The only issue is that the lawn in that area anyways, like right in here, is mostly consisting of moss. So when I go and try and clean it off with a bucket, a lot of the grass comes in with it, so that's not great. But yeah, I'll try and consolidate that gravel over there a little bit, kind of have a little bit of a, let's see if I can show it there. Got a bit of spoil there. Let's see here. Nope, that's too much. Anyways, there's a bit of spoil in here. That's just to keep that gravel from sloughing over. So I'll move the last bit of dirt here back, and then clean up the gravel, and then I'll go level out the dig in the far distance there by the fence, and then we should be ready for Marty to come back with gravel. come out. It's going to be nice and warm. Anyways, this is kind of what we're going to be doing now. So yeah, I'm just leveling this section now. He's here now with gravel. He's just busy working back there and bedding our pipe in gravel and getting a gravel bed ready to get the septic field started. So that's what's happening there. And I'm just leveling this section out here. Saves our tracks, saves the ground, and happens to be the quickest way to turn a machine. There we go. The blade in front, and I'll start kind of skim some of this gravel and put it in the hole here. I don't want to get anything that's too dirty, so for a septic system, it's supposed to be clean, washed gravel. So any sort of debris in there is not allowed. So try and keep this as clean as possible. There's normally a little bit that gets left behind that's too dirty, and we'll use that when we're backfilling. So not too much of this can actually be used for the actual seepage bed, but can be used for backfill in general, so we will use it. Let's just try and skim over the mossy grass I was talking about earlier without pulling any of it in with the gravel. Doesn't always work out, but it seems to be working nice now. So this is going to be what I'm going to do for the next little bit, and I will catch back up with you when we are spreading gravel in the field. First bit of pipe is in on the gravel bed, so we're gonna go get more gravel now so we can do the rest of this. We're gonna kind of dig this out by section because this is the easiest way to get gravel in the hole, seeing that it has to come from over there. So if we dig this all out, it makes the gravel in the hole logistics harder. So start of the septic field. And there goes Marty with some gravel. So a little bit sketched out right now. because of the angle. And it got loaded really heavy on the left-hand side there. Bags are dropped though, so it should be stable. But yeah, so see that little chute right there? Get closer. We use this sucker to load the skid steer bucket. And then it's a little cleaner way of getting material into the field, like cleaning up a gravel pile after the fact. But kind of thinking about it, we got to dig out a bit more here before we start putting gravel in. There's no room for gravel in the trench so far, so I'm gonna get to digging again. Got the old drain field down there, so this wet is. Not the greatest because you lose some along here, but it's better than dumping it on the ground and then freaking having to scrape it off of there. I got that area somewhat cleaned up, but still a bunch of gravel in there. Anyways, I'm gonna go load them. Minor spillage. Well, just over half of the field has been built now, or I guess just under rather. These two lengths, 1, 2, and it's 4.5 lengths total. So what we're gonna do is actually gravel like from here back, put our filter cloth over, and then put soil on it, because we're kind of running out of room to place soil at this point as we keep digging. Like, that's what I have left, and this area here needs to remain open for the skid steer to bring gravel in, so it's a little tight, but that's the move, I think. That way we can take a lot of the spoil and place it over top here or over here, so that it's away from the area we need to work. But we kind of had to do this to start with. So anyways, that's what she's looking at right now. So filter cloth is down on top of the pipe. There you go. So like little stubs that are out, they've been leveled with a laser so that they are the same height. That's a little bit of excess gravel, and now Marty's gonna hump spoil over to me so I can backfill over top of this. We can start placing the excess spoil over here so we can keep digging out over that way. has taken the Peterbilt to go grab more gravel for tomorrow. And I am just cutting this last little bit of material out. As you can see when I spin around again. Whoop. As you can see, we've got a large dirt sausage over here. That's just because we're trying to make room to dig this hole back. Which is kind of the frustration with these smaller jobs. It's actually, if you had the space, it would be a really, really quick job, but because it's so tight, you kind of have to move things around a couple times initially until you have something set up where you can work from, which is what we have now. We've done the initial tank installation and initial part of the field with the distribution box for the septic system. So now that that's all in, we can really focus on the field. But we had to just move all the spoil from back here to where we were working. But since we're done working over there now, we can now store our material there. So something to keep in mind with smaller jobs. They're not actually always faster because logistics. I think the other thing people don't really think about is soil, when it's been sitting for a long time, compacts under its own weight, and from rain, water, and whatever else, people walking over it, machines potentially, just general traffic. And so when it's compacted and you're looking at it and you start digging it up and kind of gets fluffed up again, it's always more spoil than you think there's going to be because of that fluffing factor. Which is well and truly taking place here, because I mean, the spoil we dug up from the tank, we used all of it going back in, and we did 1 foot compaction lifts. So basically every 1 foot of spoil that goes back in for backfill, or 30 centimeters, we hit it with a compactor for a little bit until it's well and truly solid. And by doing that, we actually used all the material we dug out from the hole was used up, even though we put a 1,000 US gallon septic tank in the hole. We still used all the, all the material, even though that had all that space, all that void space from the tank displacing air, wow, I can't speak English right now. You get the gist of it, right? Put a tank in the hole, and yet I still used all the material, and that's just because we compacted it. So if you reverse that with stuff that's already compacted and you start digging it up, it gets pretty loose and fluffy and takes up a lot of room. Anyways, I think I'm basically done here for today. Can't really go too much crazier here. Our laser died, so I'm just kind of eyeballing this last bit. But I think I will leave like so. And that's it for the day. So I'll come back tomorrow. I'll go get this video edited quickly and uploaded. I gotta go, you see the little bit of dirt right there? A little right there. I gotta go shovel that out. But other than that, it's gone fairly well today, considering we had to do a lot of shuffling of material. So, that being considered, I'm happy. And we'll see, potentially we're finishing tomorrow. I don't think we will. Marty's feeling pretty sick, so he might not be here tomorrow, which will push things back a little bit. At the very least, we'll be done on Thursday. So, what is it? Today's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday. At the very least, we're done Thursday. But it's going to take a lot of cleaning up to get this place cleaned. Anyways, I'll pack the last few tools into my truck and we'll get out of here.